So good afternoon, November 7th, 2013. This is CISG113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy. This is week number 8, day number 16, okay? So this is the week to begin our problem-based learning, so let's get started. Well, welcome back to this week number 8. Unfortunately, on Monday, it was a holiday. So we missed one day, but unfortunately, with the photo environment, even though we could not meet face-to-face, you know that this is what we expect. And that is the beginning of your problem-based learning contract number 3. And you look at the end of this dual model environment, you will discover that each of your teams is respectively given a team online discussion forum as well as a team collaborations wiki. That means you're well set together with the peer collaborations wiki, peer discussion forum that is to be given you for the next 2 weeks, including this week number 8, 9, and 10. So may I have your attention please? If you have read my teacher's message at the beginning of the week, you know that we are starting a new format for classroom management for these 3 weeks. In other words, I'm going to speak not more than 15 minutes, then I'll give you another 15 minutes in the first half an hour to organize yourself as a team. And then starting from the second half hour, you know that each team will be given 10 minutes time to tell the whole class what you are up to in terms of learning contract number 3. Okay? So in your team, you need to organize yourself in terms of electing your team coordinator, your team secretary, your team liaison member, as well as your team inspector or project tracker. This is something what you have to do, and well, regularly speaking, today is the first day in your 3 weeks journey of problem-based learning in class, but you miss one day, that means you lose one opportunity out of the 6 to be able to do things together in class. So I encourage you to pack up your heart and speed up. And at the end of the discussions today, in your table, you should have your meeting minutes ready. That meeting minutes must include the following. Please listen very carefully. The timeline you have with 3 weeks time to finish the last learning contract and problem-based learning. And then you need to have a team structure, just as what I said, who's going to be the coordinator, the secretary, liaison, and the project inspector. Okay? And then you need to know the liaison is very important, because starting from today, the liaison from each team need to work together so that beginning next week, when I give you the 2 half an hour's time for each team to share with the whole class, it's the liaison member from all your teams who's going to work out the order. Okay? So the liaison member from each team is very important. So, and then you need to know that in the last learning contract number 3, problem-based learning, you have to do as much as in the second learning contract in terms of the 3 weeks topics. We have week number 8, week number 9, and week number 10. Have you counted the number of distinct themes there? Have you? Now you have to count it with your computer. And then you need to tell your team members how many topics you have to choose from the themes given in the 3 weeks. Okay? And then the most important thing is, besides working out the same amount of work as in your second learning contract, you must have a problem to start out with your work in the last learning contract. Now, where do you get the problem? Remember, I told you last week, at the end of your first learning contract, you have 4 individual proposals. Okay? At the end of your second learning contract, you have 2 peer proposals. So out of these 6 proposals, you have to discuss with your team member which one will be the one you are going to work on in this last learning contract. Now, hopefully, you have already done some discussions because of my last week's reminder. If not, then you have to make best use of the first 15, 20 minutes time today, okay, in order to get yourself set in your table. All right? Now, may I have a polling. Have your table discussed which problem to work on in the last learning contract? Have you designed which proposal? Yes or no? Okay, have your table designed which proposal to work on based on the 6 on the table? Okay, it's time for you to talk about it. Have you designed which one to work on? Based on, you don't have 6, you have 3 plus 2, 5 at most. Okay? Do you remember that? In the first learning contract, each one of you submit a personal proposal. In the second learning contract, each pair of you submit one proposal. So counting you as one pair, at least you have 3 plus 1, 4, right? Yes, one proposal to select one. Have you chosen the proposal yet? So do you know what proposal you have on your table? And now you have to choose one, all right? So in other words, in your discussions in your table today, you better talk something about it. Okay? In the meeting minutes today, you have to say one specific agenda is to determine the proposals to work on in the last learning contract, and also to count the number of themes, distinct themes, in the free widths number 8, number 9, and number 10. In each theme, you need to choose one topic and divide it among your 2 pairs in your team, and then you know how many topics you need to work on, just like in the second learning contract. So allow me to point you to where you are, because this is something very important. You have to continue this practice in the very last learning contract. So if you look at these, okay, when you look at the very last area of the UN Moodle environment, you have your online team discussion forum for learning contract number 3. You know which team you are, okay? Team number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you also have a team collaborations wiki. Now this time, when we talk about the wiki, you have to work on that, okay? In the second learning contract, it's just a peer wiki, but this is a team wiki. In this team wiki, 4 of you in your team could actually go into your wiki and build up your details, okay? So if you happen to forget which team you belong, when you get into each one of this, I've already done something for you. I've given you your identity, okay? So you know that when you click into the team forum, if you discover that your name is not there, you better get out of it for the team forum. You have to get into the team forum. That is your team's, okay? Remember that. If you get into someone else's team forum, get out of it, because this is not your business there, okay? Don't get into someone else's team forum, type in something, and expect the team member to respond to you, and people will just say, no, you don't belong here, okay? Go back to your team forum, all right? Each team forum has an identity, all right? And the same thing, it happens to your team wiki, okay? If you go back here, with the team wiki, we click on the team wiki, this is the team wiki, okay? Everybody in your team is able to create something, some pages. So the first thing, again, as I advised you, is your team need to determine in what way you're going to use the team wiki to represent your work or to house the work throughout the 3 weeks, okay? You can use the team wiki to carry your meeting minutes. You can use the team wiki to carry the team space. You can use the team wiki to carry 2-pair space, and also to carry the individual member space besides those artifacts that you have already done in the first and second learning contract, because that is a very important page for you to build on that, all right? So in the last learning contract, problem-based learning, let me repeat, you have to do number 1, repeat what you have done in learning contract number 2, but with the topic selected from week number 8, number 9, and number 10, okay? And then the second important thing is you need to come up with, for the whole team, one problem to work with. And this problem could be selected from the 4 individual proposals you have at the very first learning contract 001, and from a 2-pair proposal from your learning contract 002. Now, having said that, I would highly recommend that you should read my teacher's message at the beginning of this week to get yourself on set. Now I'm almost up with my 15 minutes. Let me pass the next 15 minutes of the first half hour to you as a team in your table to discuss among yourself. Do you know what exactly you have to do in the last learning contract? And what exactly are the artifacts we need to turn in? What particularly the journals, the forum discussions, as well as the wiki we need to complete, and what problem we need to do it, and what topic are we going to select. Okay, now on your own, 15 minutes on your own. With your computer, go online to the Moodle environment, check it out, alright? Check it out. And of course, if you have a question, raise your hand. I will be with you. And when it is 4:30, I'm going to pass the microphone to, since today is the very first time, one random table, and then go at your choice. Each table will have at most 10 minutes time to tell us what you're up to in terms of this very nice learning contract. You can also give us questions, of course. Alright? Your time, discuss among yourself. With your computer, go online and check it out. Alright? Remember, don't miss this. Work out what is required in the last learning contract, problem-based learning. Alright? And make sure you visit week number 8 and study some of those very important videos to give you a head start. Alright? Of course, in the meantime, I'm going to take attendance. So Albert is here, Anna is here, Horace is not here, Lexi, yes. Lexi, are you here? Yes. Yeah, Long Hong, thank you. Catherine, yes. Fancy, yes. Hin, thank you. Tom, Charles, thank you. T, thank you. Layla, yes. Patty, yes. Galen, yes. Sophia, yes. Chalito, yes. Womley, yes. Joyce, yes. Magnolia, yes. Roy, thank you. So thank you very much. I've been very attentive to class, and I will worry much about that. So make sure you spend the 15 minutes given you to organize yourself before I pass the microphone to you. You need an iPad. Oh, this is big enough. Yes. Yes, you need to make sure you have this the secretary. So the coordinator, study next Monday, 4 times, work together. Talking about next Monday. Liaison is the liaison. L-I-A-I-S-O-N liaison. It's very important. Yes, he makes sure everyone in the team is up to what they need to know, and he needs to communicate with the other team so that when the clocks count, because each team has 10 minutes time to share. So which team goes first, we need to work it out with our team's pace. Okay? Oh yes, by the way, I just remember one very important announcement. Next Monday, I will not be physically here, okay? Because I have an engagement to bring a professor from Taiwan to some of the local schools here. So what I expect from you is, of course, you need to work together as a team, making use of the class time in our GOA or somewhere else. That means you have really 1.5 hours meeting together to organize yourself. Just next Monday. But you have to make sure you come back next Thursday. Yes, because I will not be here, so no one is going to open the door for you. So the best thing is that you guys, for each team, make sure you come together, because that will be very important. I just remember this very important point. Yes, yes, you have questions? Yes, you can arrange So don't forget the self-assessment, okay? In the second learning contract, you need to submit by the end of tomorrow, okay? You need to go there, do a copy and paste of the table, and give your peer member a score. Yes. That is the problem you need to select. Oh, you need this last name function. Already got proposed that each of the four proposals title, your three questions there, your three references to so the once you're coming up, you also have the title, three question, at least three references, and then you have to divide among yourself. And now what you need to do is to do information literacy. You don't submit issues of proposal, and you're now, last thing we need to remember to be knowing the artifacts we decide for the last. I also invite you to submit a proper proposal. Okay? That proper proposal is actually what insurers to do. Okay? If you are one to say that answer, you want to come up with it. Okay? And when you mention that, it's not too difficult. And these are the master contracts. Very first, it goes to this page, okay? The card is actually very beginning of the PhD member. Now alright. So this is one way to use experience.
没有
Very good. I got very good questions already, and make sure you ask questions, because in the last learning contract, one very important question is, first, you need to do something similar to the second learning contract, right? In the second learning contract, since you're a pair, so your pair proposal contains two topics, one from each of the pair member. But in the last learning contract, okay, because you're doing it as a team, right? And in a team, you're 4 members. So your team report actually contains 4 topics, one from each member. Okay? And beside that, you also have to do one extra proposal called a problem proposal. And where does that problem proposal come from? As I said many times, it comes from the 4 individual proposal or the 2 pair proposal in the first and the second learning contract. And for that proposal, for that problem, the whole team needs to work on it. And what do you need to work on? In that very important problem proposal is basically an inquiry-based learning exercise. But this time it's done by the whole team. And what is meant by inquiry-based learning exercise, according to our format, based on the topic, based on the 3 specific questions, based on the references, you need to go out and look up information, okay? Related information. Once you look at related information, the whole team need to do a set of observations, and then the whole team need to do a set of interpretations, and finally the whole team need to do a set of applications, that means lessons learned. So that it's to make sure that you do not forget the meaning of inquiry-based learning. So in the process of doing all of these, you must exercise your learning, your self-regulated learning. That means you need to set goals, you need to have a timeline, you need to evaluate your progress, you need to revise your strategies. That means your action plans must be constantly monitored. Okay, so that is very important. Now, I was reminded that I have to change a little bit of the artifacts of the last learning contract in your class, because right now it's based on task force. Since we do not have a big class now, it's designed for 50 student class. Now we have 20 something. It's very good. So just like we're calling the task force, getting back the team. All right. So in the meantime, I'm going to use less than 5 minutes time to fix that, and then I'm going to pass the microphone to individual table. That means team, so that you can share with us some of your specific organizations. All right. Now, just to remind you, if you look at our calendar, this is week number 8, okay? Week number 8, week number 9, week number 10. So November the 22nd will be the very first day you will have to submit your artifacts. And if you add 5 days over there, the last day will be 27. But in the week number 11, you have a midterm exam, okay? So what do you need to do in the midterm exam? I just want to let you know. We do not require you to remember anything. The midterm exam, I expect that if not in this room, it will be in the computer room definitely. But the best is in this room with each one of you have a notebook computer. But if it is too much, then I'm going to divide the midterm exam into 2 days. Half of class will come on one day, the other class will come on the other day. But when you come here, the best thing is pair by pair, because the midterm exam is that kind of exam. You have to do something as if you are doing a learning contract, doing journals, doing pair discussion forum, doing wiki, okay, in class. So I'm working now. If not in this room, we're going to do it in the computer room. The best is T113. There are many computers there. So basically, you have to use your environment in the midterm exam of 1.5 hours, because we have 2 hours that week. We will use the 2 hours that week as the midterm exam time. So in the first day, for example, Monday, you will handle 1 questions by doing half an hour journals, and then you do another half an hour discussion forum, and then in the very last half hour, I might give you a wiki to construct something like this. And you will do something similar on the first day's class, again in the computer room, just to make sure that you feel comfortable with those particular techniques that you should be doing in your learning project 1, 2, 3. Okay? So the midterm is anything but the same thing you're doing in the learning contract. But we just have to enable you to do it within the class period of 1.5 hours and do it 2 times. One on Monday and one on Thursday. So that you will immediately get the 20 points because of that. Alright? So, have I made myself clear? Does it make sense to you? You do not need to remember all the detail, because in the midterm exam you have all the whole Moodle environment with you. You have to make sure that you know how to type a journal, save something, and submit it through the submission link. Okay? Very consistent with what you are doing throughout the whole semester. Learn how to journal, learn how to discuss with written communications through forum, and learn how to write in the wiki. And then copy and paste into Microsoft Word document, save and submit. That's it. Alright? So it will be very interesting. The only thing that might be a little bit challenging is you might have to choose one topic out of 3 discussion topics to start with. Okay? And once you've chosen that topic, you have to use half an hour to do journal of that topic. That means you have to look for related information on the internet of that topic, and journal it, document it. But you just remember, you just do it for half an hour. Okay? That's how I hope I can give you enough confidence to do things like that. We don't have all the time to do all the things, alright? So, okay, may I just pass the microphone to a different table? You must tell me from your team who's the liaison member. Writing me an email, okay? So I'm going to put the liaison member together, so that starting from next Thursday, because next Monday I'm not here, when you do the team-based sharing, you know which team goes first, because you have to work it out, alright? So, may I pass the microphone to your table? Yes, you are very good. Yes, let me see if I got enough power here. Good, very good. Yes. May I invite Anna, Albert? Yes. Here we go. Hi. Are you ready? Sure. Hi, Anna, Albert. Yes, can you tell us something about your team's organizations of the last learning contract?
You mean how we...
Yes, have you worked on the team roles yet at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, then count the number of days because as I just mentioned, November the 22nd is the first day to submit your artifacts until November the 27th. So, have you fixed the date for your face-to-face meeting yet?
We're thinking of weekends since
Okay.
we're very busy during the week.
Yes. But remember, you can actually have 1.5 hour next Monday during class time to meet because next Monday, since I will not be here, but I still expect that you will make the best use of that 1.5 hours together. Okay? All right, so any other time that you plan to meet? Have you worked it out yet?
We're still discussing.
Okay.
because Some of them
Yeah.
have part-time.
Yes, sure. I understand that. So what about the problem proposal? Have you selected which one to work on?
We've decided to come up with a
New proposal. That's good. Yeah. So, and then what about the topic selection from the 3 weeks, week number 8, 9, and 10? Have you looked it up yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so it's okay. Could you just pass the microphone to another team? If any of your members will have anything to say, Garland and Kathleen?
We just want to say that our license.
Liaison member?
Yeah, liaison member is Catherine.
Kathleen, okay. But make sure send me an email, okay, with your team number and Kathleen's name and student number, all right? So we're going to install all the liaison members together. All right, so which team do you prefer now to share with us next? All right, Fancy, Chalito, yes. Can you tell us something about what you have organized? Yes, hello Chalito.
Yeah, you asked last learning contract or
The last learning
the
contract.
last learning contract. We had 2 meeting records.
Okay.
We usually give suggestions to each other.
Okay, that's
To
very good.
discuss our topic. For example, discuss what is work attack, social engineering. Yeah. We also talk something about our next learning contract. Learning contract number 3.
Okay.
Because you tell us that we must select a topic to share of our proposal. So we also talk about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have
We decided to select digital divide as our proposal topic.
Okay, digital design. Okay.
Yeah. That's all.
Okay. So in your team, have you worked out team roles yet? That means who's the coordinator, secretary, liaison?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Could you try to make out who is the liaison member and give it to me through email by the end of the day?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes. Could you select one team now to share with us next? Which other team you want to? Yes, Sylvie, Magnolia, Joyce. Hi, hi, Sylvie.
Hi. When our group decided to, I guess, have our meeting 3 or 4 times,
Oh, that's good.
and we'll talk about our report
Okay.
as the learning contract 1 and 2,
Okay.
like we used to do. And related to the proposal,
Yes.
we have chosen the topic ethical issues in information age.
That's good. Very good.
And we have risen up 3 questions, and we divide our tasks every member will work on 1 question.
Oh, that's
Then
very good.
we will continue our discussion.
Okay.
And
So who is supposed to be the liaison member in your team? Who's going to be the secretary? Who's going to be the coordinator? And the liaison, the very important.
we haven't decided.
Okay. Could you try to make sure that you decide who's the liaison and send me an email by the end of the day?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
So you have 2 other tables to pass your microphone to. So, okay, Lexi.
In our last contract, and we
Okay.
have some difficult problem on the meeting and the discussion report.
Okay.
And we all not have enough time to do that. And
Okay.
always do that after school, maybe 11 or 12.
Okay, yes,
Yes,
yes.
and I hope in the last contract we can have more time in discuss and report on doing better.
Okay.
And I think maybe the schedule to the report maybe can be do better.
Okay, so you have to make sure that which topic to choose first in each of the week number 8, number 9, number 10 before you can. Yes, I think you need to work it out maybe in class, and then I suggest you have also to decide which problem to do, which is another very important thing. Okay, so timeline is also important. We thank you very much for your friendliness and your courage to try. Keep going. Add oil. Okay. All right. Thank you, Alexa. You want to pass the microphone to Patty's? Nance? Yeah. Thank you, Patty.
I'm Patty, and last Monday our team went back to school in computer room to finish our work for the last contract learning.
That's
And
good.
in the next learning contract, we choose a topic for the proposal, and the topic is wireless network security.
Wireless network security. Very good.
We suggest that one person find one issue and complete the proposal together.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Oh, that's very good. Do you have any more to add from your member? Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Now, I would encourage you to keep on talking with your fellow member to make sure who is the liaison member so that you can send me an email by the end of the day. And I will set up a specific forum discussion for the liaison member so that they will manage class order of presentations or sharing starting next Thursday. Remember, next Monday I will not be here physically, so I still encourage you to come back and go to our GOA or somewhere else to continue your discussions, okay? So it's very important to learn how to use the class time and work together, because as this group said, they do have difficulty working on time, right? So I understand it, but I very much appreciate your willingness to come back. I love okay? All right, so very good. If you have a question, you can ask me. If not, please continue to discuss with your members. Now, since it looks like that I might have some time left to make you pretty much aware of the implications behind problem-based learning. So allow me, after 10 minutes time, when it is 5 o'clock, I come back to introduce to you very specific on problem-based learning, okay, after your discussion first. So first of all, allow me to bring back your attentions to the PBL with the very basics of problem-based learning. Now, so this is a 3 minutes 41 seconds episode. So let's get started with that. You're experiencing this problem-based learning now in this very nice learning contract. This is the first episode to give you some understanding of the process. Discussions, note-taking, journaling, practical thinking, problem-solving, information literacy, all of these you have to exercise your techniques and practices here. another time your problem is not always a perfect problem to start with. It's never as structured as what you expect. You need to work out the pathings. Okay? You need to work out how you're going to handle it. That's why you need to start with some essential questions. Of course, the knowledge aspect is to make sure you got the content, knowledge, and pride in an equal based manner. Of course, you also need to define yourself, do time management, set goals, review, monitor your progress, evaluate your results, revise your strategies, identify the learning issues. These are the questions. Ask what you know and what you do not know. Alright? With a group as your support, what can you do together? With a time that is so limited. So you need to learn how not to waste your time. Research means asking good questions, looking up relevant information, interpreting what you discover, and asking if the problem at hand could be, in some sense, concluded with your learning. And each student needs to talk, share, argue, discuss, written, verbally. Everybody cannot escape from these duties. You need to learn how to share with your learning partner, discuss with your team members issues that's important for you, and then put together the resources and findings and learnings, put it in your report. A lot of tricks. As a teacher, I give you a lot of tricks. A lot of pointers. And let's look at how we can learn from this process. Remember, I very often emphasize the process approach to learn. We do not put a lot of emphasis at this point on the product yet, but the process, very important. So this is the first picture. We got some idea. Now let's take a look at the problem-based learning in a specific university, Stanton University.
PBL? What is that? Well, PBL is a learning approach. At Stanton University, real-life professional problems serve as the point of departure for your learning process. It is called problem-based learning, thus PBL. Most of the time, you'll be studying at our school. Very often, you won't study within a class, but in a group. Your group consists of about 12 fellow students. In turns, you'll be the chairperson, the minute maker or secretary, the board writer, or a regular group member. The teacher facilitates the PBL session. In PBL, he is not called a teacher, but a tutor. Every week, you'll be working together on various problems. So, learning in PBL starts with a real-life problem from your future profession. And then, we're going to explain this to you now. Every group meets twice a week to deal with the problem. You aren't just going to do that offhand, because PBL has a clear structure. You work on the problem in 7 steps. The first step will be to read the text. You'll find out if everyone has understood the text and the problem. From there, you'll have a common starting point. Together, you'll frame the central topic and discuss it in detail. During the second step, all of you determine what kind of problem it is and formulate a clear problem definition based on the central topic. During step 3, the group has to get an overview of the existing prior knowledge by analyzing the problem. You can achieve that through brainstorming, for example. It is about free flow of thought and ideas about the central topic. Whether they are realistic is not important yet. During the next step Step 4, you will arrange all the input in such a way so that a clear structure becomes visible. In the 5th step, potential knowledge gaps will be discussed, as well as topics you still have to deal with to be able to grasp the problem completely. Your group will define the learning goals for your individual study that will lead to new knowledge. Mostly, you will carry out step 6 on your own. For example, through an interview with an expert. Or you look for a quiet place at school or stay at home to look up a variety of theories, facts and information in your books and on the internet. You will write down the information gathered and also what you have learned. That way, you will be well prepared for a group discussion during step 7. In step 7, you and your peers will discuss the findings from your individual study, led by the chairperson. All of you bring in new information. And through talking and listening, explaining and asking questions, you will have acquired new knowledge. That way, within a few weeks, you'll gain knowledge about issues you'll encounter in your future profession. In the same session after step 7, everyone begins reading up on a new problem, and your group starts afresh at step 1. That's how PBL works.
So remember the 6 steps that's suggested by Standard University's group. This is just one example of PBL, but the most important thing to point out is the group at least have to meet 2 times every week, they say, to put together your learnings, to identify the informations that reference the problem, what kind of learning goals you have, and what exactly is meant by the problem managed. They don't say problem solved, okay? It's a very interesting problem. A lot of the time, we cannot really solve the problem, but in the process of understanding the issues behind the problem, we got a lot of new learning. And the new learning itself, when it's well organized and documented, becomes very useful when we try to solve the problem later on. Now remember, in this class for problem-based learning, we have included this week only 3 weeks working time. So 3 weeks time, now given the fact that each one of us have many other things to do, as shared by Maxie, we have many courses to do. So we really cannot say put 24 hours a day into this problem. So what we need to do is use what we've learned in self-regulated learning. And remember what I told you at the very beginning, if we are willing to commit 5 hours per week into this particular learning contract, including this week, we have 15 hours per person altogether. And in your team, you have 4 persons. That means altogether you have 16 man-hours time. Now, with that's the beginning resources. Every day, you have some resources used up. You have less than 60 man-hours. Do you see what I'm trying to tell you? So be very much conscious on how to use your time and not to waste it. All right? So this is a very interesting introduction. So finally, this is a very interesting story from a nearby university. That's Hong Kong Polytechnic University. All right? So this is what you're going to hear.
Here, you will meet a group of 4 freshmen who have just gone through the orientation camp. CC likes to interrupt, not pay much attention to the learning process, just care about the grade. Matt is a service learner, thinker. Elman is very nervous before going to the orientation camp, but feel a bit relaxed after the camp. Did not hear about PBL in the camp. Emily is a deep learner, thinker. Pay attention to her learning and feel a bit nervous after the orientation camp. A task for you to do. During this discussion, you will hear the new first-year students talking about a number of things that worry them about their university studies. Please make a list of their worries while you listen to their conversation.
really tired.
Yeah, last time our old came like that as well.
Sure. Yes, let's see. Hey, let's see the pictures.
See, very much like you, right?
Oh, I think this girl is my donkey. Can you just introduce her to me?
Okay.
That's good.
Just not that good well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but this one is better. I want to this guy. This one.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, have you got any other cats?
No, too tired. Yeah, I enjoy our orientation camp very much. How about you guys? Do you find the orientation camp fruitful to you?
Yes, I found the orientation camp very useful. And in the camp, I meet with a lot of our senior students. And they share with me their learning experience regarding you.
Yeah, I agree with you. My group leader share a lot of his learning experience with me, which makes me feel more comfortable now. Telling you, I was very nervous before I joined the orientation camp.
I have an opposite feelings. The senior students I met told me that there will be something called problem-based learning in our first year of study. They try to explain what this is about and share with me the experience of it. This really makes me feel worried after I met them.
Yes, I have heard something similar. I have heard something like PBL in one of the group discussions, but I did not understand what they were talking about. They talk about group work, self-initiation, responsibility of learning, peer assessment. I did not understand about what they are.
Oh, I did not hear about PBL in orientation camp. Can you please go on and tell me more about what it is?
These students have mentioned something called problem-based learning. With your group, make a list of all the things you know already about what problem-based learning. If you know nothing about it, try to guess what you think it might be. How do the students feel about this new idea? How do you feel about it? One of my senior students shared with me that in his first PBL lessons, the lecturer came into the classroom and distributed a problem to them. Then the lecturer asked the student to divide into groups and follow the instructions shown on the assignment. Oh, that's normal. My secondary teacher did the same.
Hey, Sissy, please stop and let Emily finish first.
After they had received the problem, they found a lot of the terms in it are new to them. They need to spend a lot of time to discuss what they are. Then they need to come to a consensus on the learning issues, the resources they should go to, the workload distribution among themselves, meeting agenda, work schedule, and a lot more I can't remember. Wow, this sounds a lot to do.
I have heard something similar, and the senior student commented that they need to use a lot of time in discussion and self-study.
What? Doing self-study? I don't like that. I just want the lecturer to give us all the information and tips for the examination. We just memorize the stuff, attend the examinations, get a degree, and that's all. Simple. Why did they make up so many unrelated things to do? A waste of our time. Cecilia said that all she wants is for the teacher to give her tips so she can pass the exam. How do you feel about this? Is it what you want from your university education? Discuss with your group.
Normally, they give you 5 to 10 minutes time during this break.
I don't know, but it seems that PBL is good for us.
Oh yes, I can remember something now. Our senior mentor said that they have a lot of hot argument in the group work. And in one occasion, one of the group members just cried and left the group.
Matt mentioned that senior members said that they have a lot of hot arguments in their group work. In one occasion, one of the group members just cried and left the group. Have you ever had a bad experience of working in a group? If so, please share with your group members what went wrong and what support you needed that you didn't get. If you have not had any such experience, try to get some of the things that could go wrong with working in a group and share your ideas with your group members.
Also, it seems that I have something like self-reflection and peer assessment. Do you know what they?
Oh, that is easy. No. Sorry, I don't know.
My senior fellows told me that through the problem-solving process, they need to do some self-reflections to complete the learning cycles. They need to answer something like, what did I learn? What more do I need to do? And how can I approach this problem in the future?
I don't want to hear about all this. Yeah, that's my rule now. And I don't like to hear about all this because they are very difficult.
Now I feel a little bit worried. I don't know if I'm able to adapt to this kind of learning mode. How about the assessment? Some of you have mentioned about doing group work. How can the assessment be fair to everybody?
Yes, I like doing group work. I can have the opportunity to miss some. However, I have a bad experience in the past that one of my groupmates did not contribute much to the group work. But eventually, she got the same grade as I did. That was so unfair.
Yes, I agree with you.
I think this may be the reasons why we have peer assessment in PBL. I can grade your performance and you can grade my performance as well.
That sounds better and fair.
Wait. I don't think so. I know you and you know me. I would feel very embarrassed if I need to be graded or graded by my friend. Moreover, people may have the tendency to inflate the grade of his or her good friends.
Yes, you are right. I'm worried about this as well. Moreover, I've also heard that in PBL, each group will need to do presentations in front of the whole class.
What? Is that true?
I'm not sure, but it seems that I've heard something like that.
Oh no, I don't want to speak in front of the class. Can I be exempted from that?
Oh, that's good. Then I will nominate you be our presenter if we were in the same group.
No, thank you.
Stop. We don't have to think so many steps ahead. I can anticipate that I will be exhausted before I come to that stage. There are so many steps that we have to go through before I get to that.
These students seem to have a lot of worries about PBL and independent learning. With your group, compare each person's list of these worries and combine them to make one list for the group. Your task is to prepare advice to give to these 4 students, to answer their questions and put them at ease about their worries. You will find detailed instructions in your guidebook, and your facilitator will now explain these details to you.
Okay, you have just heard and watched the video produced by first-year freshman students at Hong Kong Polytechnic University last year. Well, basically, they have a center of problem-based learning, and they very much advertise the use of problem-based learning to help college students to learn, because they believe this is a very important and effective pedagogy. Well, I have been doing problem-based learning for my major student for almost 10 years, and I discovered that the culture is yet to be nurtured. That means it's not easy. That's why you see that in this semester when I try to introduce you to problem-based learning, it's only in the first learning contract. Only after giving you some taste of inquiry-based learning and self-regulated learning, then I try to give you 3 weeks time to do problem-based learning as a group. Rigorously speaking, it requires a lot of intensive work from each group member in class and also outside the class environment. In the past, when I was doing my college study, we do problem-based learning, we do not have the convenience of Moodle environment as you have now. So the only thing we can do is to have to meet face-to-face before we can coordinate anything. But today, with the convenience of the Moodle environment, when you have the journals there, your discussions forum there, the follow-up of the wiki, and also the instant message, everything seems to be very close to perfect. But yet, the culture must be there. Because each of the students must be very disciplined. As the student in the video said, what if we do a lot of work and my team member does not do anything? And sometimes we got the same grade. It does not seem to be fair. And so in the context of group work, in order to walk through a fair process, we do a lot of self-evaluations, peer evaluations, In the second learning contract, you have the first experience of self-assessment, pair collaborations. Okay, I hope you fill it up and submit it by tomorrow evening. And through the form, you see that each member is given the privilege to provide a confidential evaluations of every other member in the team using rubrics, which is going to measure the maturity of group work. Okay, and we're going to try that through in the last learning contract as a reference, so that I can understand how you feel about this. But in fact, the higher you go in your college year, the more opportunity you're going to encounter for problem-based learning. It's a mature learning process for the group. Okay, so I hope you understand that, and I very much appreciate the students of Hong Kong Polytechnic University. They produce such a video to help the fellow students understand the nature of learning there. All right. So I hope with these 3 videos you'll already watch. The first one, the very introductions on the group process. The second one, the Stanford University, the 6th step, and finally with Hong Kong Polytechnic University. Now it's your turn, so that help yourself and feel comfortable about it. And I have great confidence about all of you, because from my observations on the discussions forum and the way you submit your work, I believe you're still very much a responsible class, and you're quite willing to learn, put a lot of effort into what you expected, and I'm trying to do the best to help you to get through it. All right. So if you still have questions, you can ask me. If not, it's now 5:25 from other classes. Feel free to go. Okay? Thank you very much. And remember, next Monday, keep coming back, not in this room, but in our GO8, so you have a meeting on the hall. Okay? Next Monday, not here. So that's it for today's CISG 113, Section 1, Information Security and Privacy, on November the 7th. This is week number 8. And stay tuned until next week.